All right, Administrative Services, Dr. McLeod. Marlboro County High School senior trip to Orlando, Florida and Tampa, Florida, and we need a vote. And we also have the Marlboro County High School junior trip to New York City, and there's also a vote needed. Can we do both of them together?
Madam Chair.
Yeah, go ahead, Mr. Coachman.
Madam Chair, I make a motion that we approve the senior trip to Orlando, Florida, Tampa, Florida, the junior trip to New York City.
Coachman.
You don't need to. The kids want to make it up.
Oh, I'm sorry. I wasn't looking. I was just ready to get this thing done, man.
Please do something.
Madam Chair, members of the board, Dr. Tiller, before you vote on these trips, I'd like to defer to Mr. Lemon and this group right here.
Senior class officers.
The senior class officers, because they have a special request that will possibly affect the senior trip portion of the trips.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Antiana Fuller, and I am the senior class president.
My name is Bradley Bullitt, and I'm the senior class vice president.
My name is Shaquille Parker, and I'm the senior class secretary.
Hello, my name is Casey Grant, and I'm your treasurer, senior class treasurer.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen of the board. We certainly thank you for allowing, but they would like some considerations for enhancing that trip for their 2015 graduating class.
Okay. While in Florida, we, the class of 2015, would like to take a 2-day Bahamas cruise. We are responsible, intelligent, and deserve so much better than what we receive. Planning this trip has been very stressful, and we just want to see all of our hard work come to pass. The class of 2015 took a survey pertaining to our senior class trip, and we discovered that the top 2 affordable places of interest were Florida and the Bahamas cruise. On this survey, it has questions such as, how much are you and your family willing to spend on a senior trip, which includes transportation, lodging, food, and activities? It got a tie between $300 and $500. And the next question were, are you and your family willing to participate in fundraisers to help with senior trip costs? Majority said yes. And how long would you want your senior trip to last? Majority of our class said 4 to 5 days.
I want to go with
that. If your parents were chaperones, would you still want to go on our senior trip? Majority of our class said no. But I feel like if we're going to be on our own one day, then I think that's pretty good. Yeah. Should students who do not follow MCH rules and policies be allowed to go on the senior trip? Majority of our class did say no. Suggestions on how to make your last year at MCHS the best ever. We had some suggestions like following the rules and earn trust, a better class trip, let us just try our best, make sure we do not go to Florida, senior class has more say-so, no school-related activities during senior trip, do what we're supposed to do, and maybe we can get something surprising like more opportunities. Let our senior trip be different. We are not like the other classes. Do more together and go another place other than Florida.
Ever since our sophomore year, we have seen every class below us have a trip except for us. Our junior year was disappointing because each class had a trip except for us. Concerned students came to Antiana, who has been our president for 4 years, while asking why don't we have a trip. She was wondering the same question. But it seems to come to the point where we all realize where it was about who was in control. When she went to the administrator at our grade level around Thanksgiving, he said it was too late for our juniors to have a trip. She felt defeated because the worst feeling about being a leader is letting down your supporters. She used it as motivation in her knowledge for planning our junior trip to our senior trips. By seeing all the classes have such great trips, we just don't see Florida as spectacular or a place we want to go. And going to Atlanta, Washington, and New York, the classes under us won't either.
Every time a secretary answers the phone at MCHS, they say, "We're making a difference at Marlboro County High School. How can I help you?" When in reality, the only way we can make a difference or change is by putting actions to our goals. With that being said, we are putting forth action to get our seniors a trip they deserve. Teachers and staff members always tell us to strive, to do our best, and to push forward for what we really want. But lately, it seems like we've been pushed backward or to a halt. The vision states the school district of Marlboro County will partner with families, businesses, and communities to develop the next generation of responsible citizens, lifelong learners, and global leaders. I would like to remind you that we are the next generation. The mission states, the mission of Marlboro County High School, the mission of Marlboro County School District is to educate and enable all students to achieve their highest potential. And we feel if we're allowed to go on the trip after putting in a tremendous amount of effort, we would have achieved our highest potential. We've worked hard these 4 years and we feel we deserve something great. We want to prove to you that we can accomplish great things when we put our mind to it.
We are a different group of individuals from the ones that came 3 years ago. I feel if we are permitted to go and we stress the importance to the class of 2015 about not bringing inappropriate items, they won't, because they will know all the hard work we had to go through to be allowed to go, so it will be an honor. We want to be rewarded for our outstanding behavior and achievements academically. We want to be able to experience something we never had before with our friends. We want to show the negative-minded people that we might not be old enough to vote yet, but we can make a difference. We want to show that we're capable of doing incredible things. With us, we have a petition the class of 2015 signed along with the parents, and it reads, Petition Summary and Background. In 2004, MCHS students behaved inappropriately and unprofessionally during their senior trip. Since this time, the Marlboro County School Board has banned seniors from taking a cruise for their final senior trip. The seniors class of 2015 feel the implementation of this rule is an unfair punishment affecting all future MCHS seniors, and they respectfully request that the board reconsiders its position. We, the undersigned, are concerned parents/students who urge our school board leaders to act now to allow the class of 2015 to take a cruise for their final senior trip. We have 100 signatures from the students and approximately 50 signatures from the parents. In conclusion, we would like to thank each and every one of you for taking out the time to hear our concerns, and we would appreciate it greatly if you would take what we have said into consideration. Thank you.
Let's start down at Ms. McLean's end.
Let them children go on their trip. They should not be punished for something that happened in 2004.
Can I Let's go orderly down the line, please. Ms. Fleming.
You all got the money to go for 45 days?
45 days.
Go for it. You got my vote.
Thank you.
All right, Ms. Brandt. I'm okay. Ms. Bright. If I can chaperone. Do I understand that you have the money raised already?
So the Florida trip that you guys were going to approve tonight has, if I'm not mistaken, the money the total cost was like $465, and that
Per
includes,
student?
yeah, and that includes like 3 amusement parks, and we're awaiting a estimated cost for the 2-day cruise. So once we get that price, we're gonna exit out like 2 theme parks, so it could still be around $465.
And has everyone been able to raise the money?
Yes, ma'am. We have a list of fundraiser ideas if you would like to.
All right.
know.
And Mr. Lemon, what do you think?
First
I'm
of
putting
all,
you
let
on
me,
the spot,
let me,
aren't I?
Thank our students for coming forward tonight with their requests. Let's give them a round of applause. One of the things, and not to evade your question, but one of the things our students wanted to do is find out the possibilities that they had. So as it currently stands, the trip on deck is the regular trip to Florida. But now that they know that they have your blessings with attempting to plan a trip that will include a cruise, we need to finalize the pricing and make the final plans for that trip.
And then you come
bring it
back
back
with...
to you.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Mr. Goff?
Well, as a parent to one of these seniors, I think that I should get a personal invite. But I don't know. If they can raise the money and we can get the chaperones, I have absolutely no issue.
Ms. O'Nation?
I've never been on a cruise. Sounds like fun to me. I just want to be sure that the parents do know you're cruising as well as getting someplace.
Ms. Peterkin?
First of all, I want to commend you young ladies for coming here and for representing your class so very well. I'm with you. I say, you know, having new experiences, they will shape you, and going with your classmates will create a bond beyond anything that you have so far. So, you know, I'm definitely with you guys.
Mr. Coachman?
Have fun.
So we need to vote on this separately.
Madam Chair and Board, before you vote on this thing, I need to inform you that our liability insurance does not insure our students nor our employees outside of the continental United States.
Can you obtain insurance, trip insurance?
Yes, ma'am, and
Okay.
from what the quote that was given to me and Mr. Park today, it's probably going to be about $3,400.
Can you come back to us with that information?
Yes, ma'am, we can come back.
And also, everyone should be aware that unless you have health insurance arranged for out of country, you need to tend to that as well. Yeah, and passports. I mean, the passports go without saying, but
Well, they wouldn't have to have passports. All that you have to have, if they have chaperones, since they're leaving a U.S. port and returning to a U.S. port, they would need birth certificates, social security cards, and those types of identification, but they would not have to actually purchase a passport. So.
but the health insurance, if you check on that too.
And see if we can...
So we'll
But sometimes insurance companies, Mr. Branch could speak to this, but insurance companies will do a short-term thing out of the country. It's not very expensive.
So maybe we could approve the New York trip and this one pending the additional information?
Would you make a motion?
Would that be satisfactory? Okay, Madam Chair, I move that we approve the junior trip to New York City, as well as tentatively approving the senior trip cruise to the Bahamas, pending information being brought back to us regarding insurance and final travel arrangements and chaperones and so forth.
I second that motion.
All right, all in favor, please raise your right hand. Presume it's unanimous. All right, thank you. And I hope this all works out for you. All right. And next we have an update on school projects.
Okay, Madam Chairman, members of the board, Dr. Tiller, if you'll take a look behind you, want to give you an update on what the Wallace project looks like. Oh, it's up to, okay, first slide. Okay, this is what it's starting to look like. Things are starting to take shape up at Wallace. This is a view from the back of the school looking out towards the construction shack. Next. This is the area is well cleaned. Next. This is basically same thing looking from the school out towards the construction area. Next. This is the corner closest to the woods. Notice there's somewhat of a sharp drop off. This is the area where those primary classrooms would actually be over near the wooded area. Next. This is looking from the road back towards the woods. Next. Same basic shot looking back towards the baseball complex. Next. And this is over by the construction trailer looking at the base of where the school is actually going to be. Next. This is a look at the retention pond that's in front of the building. Next. Another shot of the retention pond from the opposite side over near the school. And this is where all of the drainage from the project will end up at. Next. And that's the final shot of the retention pool in front of the school. And so this is what it looks like up at Wallace as we speak. Okay, next I'm going to defer to Mr. Joel Carter as he gives us an update on the baseball complex.
Madam Chair, members of the board, Dr. Tiller, thank you all for allowing us to be here tonight. We do have an update on the Marlboro County High School baseball complex. And what we looked at was a modular type of unit, and utilizing that modular unit rather than a conventional constructed building. And the conventionally constructed building was running, by the time you included all of the site work associated with it, et cetera, was running almost $700,000 is what that price tag was. To go back with this modular building, we're looking at about $575,000 for that. That's about $125,000 savings over the conventional constructed project. So there may be some a little bit more savings. Until we get approval from this, we really have not finished all of the design work, such as our footing sizes, etc. No need in expending that time to do the engineering portion of that if we really don't need to. But we feel like that number, 575,000, is going to be close, very close to where we're going to end up. So that's an update for you on that particular project.
That's it?
That's it, yes, ma'am.
Ms. McClain?
She's in the
She's left?
No, she's.
Okay. Ms. Fleming? Ms. Fleming, do you have any questions?
Okay. I know that you got the prices on the modular unit. Now, what is the next step? Do we need to make a decision what we're going to do?
That's correct. You know, if you want to move forward with that project or study it more, however you want to proceed on that, yes, ma'am.
I know we've been talking about this a great deal. Is the funding in place for it?
Roughly $575,000.
We do or do not? It's hard to hear you.
We do not have enough funding in our
Okay, all right. Any other questions down the board? Could you hear?
I know it.
Yeah. Now, has this been done in consult with the company we actually got the quote from?
It has been, yes.
Okay. It's, I guess I'm just discouraged because McCall's built about a 4,000 square foot brick cladded for $400,000. You know, I mean, and I just don't, the costs are just what throw me. The numbers that we were given were somewhere in the neighborhood on the high end, I think, of around $200,000, and then there was some slab work and setup fees and things like that. I just can't believe it costs that much to build some bathrooms and building up top with some windows in it. That's I took the initiative and actually went out and got the quotes for the modular because we were kind of spinning our wheels on the other stuff. We got a quote of $700,000 on our initial design. I mean, I think we require by law to have, 5 female bathrooms and 3 male bathrooms, and then we need a concession area. I think we, every month, we get pushed back, and we don't ever have a fallback. You know, we need concessions and restrooms. Those are things that we have to have at the baseball field. We can't come another spring without facilities at the baseball field. It's, you know, we have people going into the woods to use the bathroom. It's not a good scene. So, especially with our girls are practicing softball and a busload of kids get out and go to use the bathroom in the woods. I can't, you know, I'm not an architect or an engineer, but the cost on this thing just is strolling me. I mean, I know we don't have $600,000. I didn't anticipate us having to spend anywhere near that for this project. I just can't, you know, we've got PCI builders or whatever it is across the line there that's doing work in different places, and again, they're building a lot more building than we need for a city hall in McCall for less than what we're talking about building some bathrooms and a concession stand. So I'm just, I don't know,
Anybody else? Ms. Owen Nation.
We do need the bathrooms desperately. My concern is, if I want to build a house, I share with my architect how much money I have to build that house. And then they draw plans within that budget to do that. And I thought, and maybe I'm wrong here, Wes, correct me, that we had given a number. And I don't understand, I thought the number was, what is it, Wes? Top. And I wanted to do 250 to 300,000. You can build a beautiful house for that. I know we have all kinds of exceptions to what's happening, but it seems to me we want you to draw something that comes within our budget, and preferably less than our budget if you can. So I appreciate the work you've done. I know y'all do great work, but this is the second time back at here, you know, and I'm discouraged too. I think we can do better. I really do.
Anybody else? Otherwise, we'll move on from this subject.
Well, I think he's still waiting on us.
Did you want to say something, Ms. Peterson?
Would the cost be cheaper if we just did the concession stand in the restrooms and not do the press box?
That's an option, is to not build, because it is a two-story element, and to not build, you know, the press box. I don't know if that's meets the actually desired intent for what you want. But there's also a lot of infrastructure. You know, we've got to get water, sewer, electrical is there, but the water and sewer, and then also ADA accessibility to that point on the top of the hill there. So it all plays into that cost.
Okay. Well, if you can, like I said, if you can find something, you know, especially like the option without the press box portion, if it could bring the price down lower since we don't have the funding for it.
Madam Chair?
Yes, sir.
I think that with the figures that we've gotten, I don't think it's feasible for the board to entertain a $500,000 or $600,000 figure. I think what we need to do is we're going to have to seek a different alternative. We're going to have to go a different route, and whether that means, you know, maybe working directly with a contracting firm and maybe trying to get something done that way. I really think it's something we need to look at, because I don't know, these figures aren't what I don't think these figures are what anybody expected, and so I think we need to try and look at some other alternatives to see if we can get down closer to that $400,000 figure. and hopefully a lot less than that.
All right, moving on from that, do we have any other things that you need to update us on? Is that a yes or a no? I can't hear.
That's all.
Oh, okay, all right. Next, the dress code policy, first reading, Dr. Howell.
Thank you, Madam
Thank you,
Chair.
Ms. Carter.
Members of the board, Dr. Tiller, you have at your places before you a first reading recommendation for dress code. It does say Richland School District 2 at the bottom. After we polled our students and staff members at each of our schools and shared with them various policies, the Richland School District 2 policy rose to the top and is a recommendation by the South Carolina School Boards Association that we consider as we're looking to address our district's current dress code policies. So therefore, we're asking for your first reading approval tonight.
Someone want to make a motion? This is going to fail for one of a motion. Much less a second.
Now, Madam Chair, can I ask a question?
Ms. Bright?
I don't have it in front of me, so could you tell me what changes were made on that dress code?
Yes,
Can you
ma'am.
speak a little bit louder, Ms. Bright? Say that again. It's hard for people to hear.
Could you tell me what changes was made on that dress code?
Yes, very briefly, Ms. Bright, our dress code that we currently have is general in scope. The one that is recommended tonight is broken down by middle and high school and elementary. It also contains a clause that relates to the possibility of uniforms if schools in the district so chooses to use that. And it also has a financial assistance plan recommendation in the event schools decide to use school uniforms. So those are some differences. It also places some exemption procedures for uniforms as well as possible disciplinary action that may be taken against students who do not comply with a student uniform program. We wanted to put that in there as an option. That is not a requirement. It's up to the school district as well as the school community if they decide to employ the use of school uniforms at their particular school site.
Madam Chair, I ask that we approve it. First reading. Yes, ma'am. That's what I'm trying to do.
Okay.
Okay, Madam Chair, I make the motion that we approve the dress code policy for the first reading.
Is there a second? Is there any debate?
Yes.
All right, Ms. Peterson.
Okay, y'all know I'm not a big fan of uniforms. So with that part being in the policy, to me, I think that is one of those things where parents need to be, have a chance to weigh in on that and see whether or not that is something that they would like to do. I do not want to make something policy without having parents, included in that process. And then also, I'm looking over the brief policy, and I know I said this before, so I'm going to just do like that little reminder of like the little pictures like they had in the Blenheim policy where showed examples of what is not appropriate dress, and so that students know, hey, if you got too much showing, that's not going to work for us. But yeah, that's my only exception, talking about the uniform issue.
To respond to the first portion of your discussion, Ms. Peterkin, the uniform issue, it does state in there that will be something that will be decided by each school. They will poll their school communities, and will also do that each year on 3-year intervals. So it is not a requirement of the policy. That's an option within the body of the policy itself.
Any other discussion?
Yeah, Madam Chair, I would make a motion to amend that we approve the first reading of this policy with the removal of the student uniform section until that could be explored to a greater extent. Because I didn't read it that it was optional, it read differently to me. So I would move that we eliminate the uniform portion.
I second on his amendment. I second his amendment.
All right, okay. Is there any other debate? If not, we'll vote on the amendment. All in favor of the amendment, raise your right hand, please. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. 7, did you get those? Hold your hands up really high so this week we see it. And Ms. Fleming too. Okay. All right, all opposed?
That's for the amendment.
For the amendment?
Yeah. I'm abstaining from the amendment.
Okay, all right. And now, for the main motion, all in favor, please raise your right hand. Put it, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. All right, did you get that, Ms. Tweed? Okay. I couldn't tell from here. All right, so the motion is carried as well as the amendment. And thank you, Dr. Howell, for working on this.
Dr. Howell, just one comment. Dr. Howell, I'm so sorry. I should have done this in discussion. A number of different schools have expressed that they have unique needs regarding dress code, and I think we've covered it here, but I just wanted to be sure you had contacted the principals of the various schools to make sure that we haven't done something that obviates something they feel strongly about.
Each of the principals were given the opportunity, and they did respond with surveys from their students as well as their parents.
They did respond.
They did.
The acoustics in here are really hard to hear everything. Thank you very much. All right, under the finance report, Mr. Park, the financial report as of August 26, 2014, information only.
Madam Chairman, members of the board, Dr. Tiller, you have before you the financial report dated as of September 26, 2014. As of that date, the district's cash and investment balances on hand for the 4 primary operating accounts were $4,606,946. As of that same date, the district had expended $5,110,427 of a $30,542,335 budget, or 16.73% of budget.
Any questions? No. All right, moving on to the Wallace School Construction Project financial update information only.
Okay. As of this date, there have been no changes to the information that was provided previously. The anticipated cost that was reported at the last regular board meeting, $22,056,032, and I will bring you information as requested regarding the inclusion of additional classrooms and skylights for the Wallace School.
All right, authorization for Wallace School Construction Project revision.
Okay. Marlboro County Board of Trustees at the September 8th meeting received information regarding a need for additional classrooms as separately bid on a list of alternates for the Wallace School project. In addition, there was discussion regarding the skylights that were included in the bid as alternates. The cost associated with the 4 classrooms was $647,608, and the skylights were $136,966 for a total of $784,574. At the time of this memo, this item, the cost of adding the 2 classrooms was unknown. I'm recommending utilizing funding from the $401,534.47 deposited in the district's project fund from the bond issuance authorized at the August 4th meeting, and the balance from proceeds from the penny sales tax that will not be needed to service the district's debt. I've attached a copy of the letter referencing the deposit. If the board approves the inclusion of the 2 items as proposed
A contract amendment in the amount of $784,574 will need to be added to the initial amendment number 1 with Thompson Turner Construction, increasing the guaranteed maximum price from $18,645,032 to $19,429,606.
Read that last amount again, please.
The amount will increase from $18,645,032 to $19,429,606. And of course, I've attached the revised budget reflecting the change. If you, my recommendation is to approve the revised budget for the project in the amount of $22,840,606 and authorize the board chair to execute an amendment increasing the guaranteed maximum price from $18,645,032 to $19,429,606 with Thompson Turner Construction. I've attached, of course, the budget, which includes the sources and uses of funds, and also a listing of the district costs, which are unchanged at this time. If you have any questions.
Let's start at this other end this time. Mr. Coachman?
All right, thank you, Mr. Park, for your work. And looks like you found the funds that are available that we can use that wouldn't be a burden on the taxpayers.
Yes,
and,
sir.
And that funding is available.
That's correct.
The classroom was definitely needed in the area. I've had discussions with our principal, with our SIC representative here today. Ms. Henson, would you like to take the opportunity? Okay, she's been a little under the weather. And I would just like the board to consider, and we can open up for discussion from here before we make a motion or do anything.
Ms. Peterkin?
Bottom line is, well, like I said, we know we need it. They're already starting to come, and, you know, just like you said, like it was stated earlier, when you build something new, parents want their kids in the best. And so they're going to go, and that school is going to be quickly filled up. That's all I have.
Ms. Nation?
We had a certain amount of money. We're going to build a school for that. We've already expanded that. And we need this, according to Ms. Henson. Ms. Henson, I want to be certain. When you came before us the last time, you said you needed one more classroom. And this request is for 4 classrooms. And that's too many.
That's currently you're doing that?
Well, I want to rely on your statement. I believe you know your school and your students and your population better than anybody, and, well, except Mr. Coachman. So this building the school for 500 when we have 400 is a misnomer. How you break down the classrooms. Okay. So you need this.
Mr. Goff.
I guess I will go ahead and call on Mr. Duff at this time. I think we had some questions about something that was mentioned earlier regarding the requested amount, taxation without representation.
Is this regarding to what the attorney said
Yes,
earlier, Mr. Goff?
in regards to the statements made by the
Well,
Mr. McDonald.
I have no idea where Mr. McDonald gets his information, because he's completely wrong about the amount that's found in the bond referendum question that voters at the bond referendum vote are asked to vote on. The amount that's stated in the referendum question, I think I heard it was 20 million.
That's correct.
That in no way is a limit on what the district can choose, the board can choose to spend on the project that's identified in the bond referendum question. There can be sources of funding for the project outside of the amount that's approved in the bond referendum vote.
Which is what we're doing now, right?
Yeah, you're drawing on various sources to increase your budget to 22 or 23, whatever the figure is. You have, for example, you have what's referred to as your 8% authority, which allows you to issue debt up to 8% of your assessed value in your district without further approval. There are various other sources of funds for a school project. So I'm aware of nothing that legally limits what you choose. Again, it's your decision. It's the board's decision. There's nothing that legally limits what you can choose to spend to complete a school project that you choose to complete. The bond referendum question and the amount stated in that question is not a limit on your project budget. Your project budget is limited by the resources that you have, including the 8% authority, including if you have a capital improvement fund that perhaps you've been attempting anyway to build over a period of time, that's available to you. There are special revenue sources for technology and other things. So the total project budget and the budget for construction, bricks and mortar construction, is up to the board, and of course the board is going to make that decision based on the funds that you have, the total amount of funds that you have available beyond what's approved in the bond referendum, and your own decision about what you're willing to spend. So Mr. McDonald, in my opinion, is completely wrong, and you're not going to go to jail if you end up building a school that costs more than $20 million.
Thank you, Mr. Duff.
And let me just say, I think Dr. Phillips can attest, we've lived with those 25 and 29 person classrooms, and I hope that as a board that we can approve positions so that by accommodating you in size, that we'll also accommodate in positions, because nobody should be teaching pre-K, kindergarten, 25, 26 classrooms. And I know that it's happened in McCall on numerous occasions, with pre-K, kindergarten, on up through first and second grade. So,
one of our primary focus is to have smaller numbers of children in our classrooms. We are striving for that because we know it's better. The one-on-one is there's much more learning going on, so this is 29 is just unconscionable, I think.
I'm going to come back to me in a minute. Ms. Bright.
Go for it. Deal for the future.
Mr. Branch.
Well, I had a few concerns when I got my board packet. I wasn't here last month, so I watched the video, and I was concerned for one that we asked for a cost for 2 classrooms and 4, but we only got a cost for 4, so that was a concern of mine. Another concern of mine was, and I expressed this concern whenever we originally voted, you know, the taxpayers approved $20 million, and, you know, I kind of stood firm on that. I approved the original 18 point something million, but I didn't approve the $3.4 million. It still passed, but I just felt like I didn't need to go over the $20 million. But I got to thinking, you know, I want what's best for the kids, so I went straight to the source, and I contacted Miss Henson. I called her today, and she graciously called me back during one of her breaks, and we talked for a while, and she assured me that this was something that she really needed. And, you know, I respect her, and I have for a long time, and she told me this was something she needed, and I take her at her word on that. Thank you, Ms. Henson.
Ms. Fleming? I think I've already spoken to that issue earlier, and we need it. This is our opportunity. Our legal counsel said we can do it. We need to do it.
Ms. McClain? I also agree that if we don't go ahead and do it now, we'll be in the situation Clio is in. Coming back to the board and coming back to the board, coming back to the board just for little meager handouts. So I think we need to go ahead and do it now. Get what you need now, Ms. Henson.
I have a question of Mr. Carter. I almost know what the answer's going to be, but I got to ask it anyway. Have you looked at any things you can take out that are superfluous in favor of adding classrooms?
Madam Chair, we've looked at many different items that we may be able to take out. However, we're really pretty much bare bones on the project. The only thing that's really left to do, we do have some skylights that we've looked at. We've got square footage is the other thing that we've cut, and we had some alternates there to take 4 classrooms and also to take out the auditorium portion of this.
Take out the what?
The auditorium.
Auditorium.
And that's already been removed from the project. So short of cutting square footage, we're pretty much there.
All right. How much impact is removing the skylights going to have on the utility bill and the quality of life of the students in the building?
The skylights, from a utility standpoint, there's really a net zero. It would be not a whole lot of difference there. But the long quarters, the way that the building's laid out, the quarters, it would add natural light in those quarters that, you know, you can debate. I personally feel that this is a good thing to have the natural light filtering into those quarters, just to create a sense of well-being there within the school.
Mm-hmm. And how much were they? 136,000.
It's included the 130, 137. Let's see.
136,966.
Yeah, correct.
I got a question.
Ms. Bright?
How much did you save to take out the auditorium?
The auditorium is not included in the project as it is now.
How much would it cost to have the auditorium?
1.7 million is gone.
I believe that was the number. What was the number for the
I want to say it was about 1.7 million. It's around that number. I don't remember exactly.
Mr. Park,
Ms. O'Nation?
when you've talked about pulling these funds, is there any more in there so we can take care of Clio and some of these other things we got going on?
We've got renovation.
You found $401,000.
We've got renovation funds that we're working from for projects like Clio and other schools. But of course, this last bond issue that we did in August, we established a target millage rate of 33 mils.
Right.
And so we're able to service the debt that included $401,000 in new money for new project
Hear that
funds.
again, I want to hear that again.
$401,000 in new money from the last bond issuance. And that is because when we look at it, the capital projects, or the penny sales tax is generating more revenue than we need, as well as the fact that our debt service in the current year is about $400,000 less than, what our tax revenue will be to service it.
How much did that penny sales tax has generated so far, Mr. President?
Right now, we've got $1,726,000 in the account. And of course, we'll have 3 more quarters of a little over $300,000 each quarter. And what that's done is it's established a nice reserve fund so that when the millage is set, we've already got a year's payment effectively held within those accounts to service the upcoming debt, as well as new revenues that are coming in. And we are generating about $400,000 more than we originally projected, which is really good news. So
this would not cause a tax increase?
no, this does not cause a tax increase. This is remaining with the same 33 mil target that we've established for our debt service. Yes, ma'am.
I got another question.
All right, Ms. Bray?
Okay, so there's no way possible that we can throw that auditorium back in there? I mean, who wants to build a school in this day and time without an auditorium?
No worry about it.
If we're looking at that, then of course we're looking at an additional financing in order to accomplish that. And of course that would have to be initiated by the board to do that.
We good?
I do want to put a word in for the Finnisville High School. We need an auditorium too.
We good in Wallace. We got a cafeteria. I appreciate everybody. Ms. Bright, I appreciate Ms. Bright. I like to have an auditorium too, but.
Madam Chairman, may I make a motion?
Yeah, Ms. Renation.
I would make a motion that we approve the additional funds as outlined here at no tax millage increase to provide the needs that Ms. Henson has told us we must have or need for the growth. And isn't it wonderful? We're going to have growth. So that's part of my motion.
I'll second.
All right, so there's a motion on the floor to increase the 4 classrooms at what amount?
And the skylights at $784,570.
Okay, with the skylights. That will not involve a tax increase.
Yes, ma'am, that's correct.
All right. I know, I'm restating the motion. The important ones I try to restate to do it correctly. Is there any other debate? All in favor, please raise your right hand. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Is that unanimous? Okay. Y'all look like little kids sticking your hands out. All right.
Okay.
And now we need award of proposal for Chapter 1 and 17 inspection services for Wallace School.
The Marlboro County School District advertised and distributed a request for proposals for Chapter 1 and 17 construction materials testing and inspection services, as well as erosion and sediment control device inspections. The RFP prepared by Jumper Carter Cease outlined the scope of services that the district needs the qualified firm to perform and the format to respond to the request. As indicated in the RFP, qualified firms were required to submit by 2 o'clock Thursday, August 21st, 2014. 4 firms submitted proposals for the prescribed services. The fees range from $97,000 $275.50 to $133,803 to $194,735 to $203,012. After interviews with the two low proposers, both have offices in Florence, and further clarification and review, the committee ranked GS2 engineers as the highest ranked proposer based on experience with similar projects, qualifications for reference projects, location of firm, and anticipated cost. I've attached a copy of the proposal as submitted by GS2 and RFP as provided by the district. I've also included a copy of an email from Joel Carter responding and Chris Poe responding to questions I had in terms of the thoroughness of the proposal that was submitted by GS2. My recommendation is to authorize myself to execute a contractor after review by the district's legal counsel and award the proposal to GS2 Engineering for Chapter 1 and 17 construction materials testing and inspection services, as well as erosion and sediment control inspection for a cost not to exceed $97,275.50.
Is there a motion?
Hold on, Madam Chairman. Is that the amount that we had listed in our budget?
We've got $150,000 listed within our budget for this item, so we can go back and after your approval, of course, then I can update you at the next meeting showing the reduction in that line item.
So that should be a reduction. Excuse me, Madam.
That's all right.
Should be a
Want to
reduction.
make a motion?
All right. Has our construction advisor agreed to this? Mr. Brown? I'll make a motion then that we approve GS2 Engineering for Chapter 1 and Chapter 17 construction materials, testing and inspection services, as well as erosion and sediment control device inspections for a cost not to exceed $97,275.50.
I second.
All in favor, raise your right hand. Is that unanimous?
Yes.
All right, motion's carried unanimously. Thank you, Mr. Parks.
Thank you.
Ms. Battle? Thank you, Mr. Carter. 3 through 5, artistic, gifted, and talented. And let's postpone until next time the programs thing you've given the information, just to save time, if that's all right with you.
Certainly.
Okay.
Protocol has been set, so very briefly, the 3 through 5 artistic GT, we're currently serving in our district at the Marlboro School of Discovery, grades 6 through 8 artistic GT, and at the high school, grades 9 through 12. In compliance with the State Department, we have to serve our state-identified 3 through 5 artistically gifted and talented students. So on today, every student took home in grades 3 through 5 a letter and also a referral form that anyone can refer a child in our school district, that they be tested using the state testing guidelines to participate in artistic GT. We're planning to serve our artistic GT students in grades 3 through 5 in visual arts and in music, to include general music. We're in the process of planning how we're going to do this, looking at getting started in January. But the first step is to do the state testing and to identify, using the state rubric, our state-identified GT students in grades 3 through 5. Once we do the testing and we identify the students, we will know what numbers we're working with, and I'll be able to bring back to you a proposal of how we would like to serve our artistically state-identified students in grades 3 through 5.
Any questions?
Thank you, Ms. Battle.
Thank you.
You know I've been pushing for this. Thank you.
You're
Thanks
welcome.
a lot. All right, Dr. Tillo, Superintendent's report.
Thank you, Ms. Parsons. I'd like to start by thanking Ms. Harrington and her faculty and staff, as well as her parents, for bringing our students out tonight, and the students for hosting the meeting this evening. You all did a wonderful job, and thank you for the wonderful treats as well. Thank you. The Mighty Bulldog Marching Band competed on Saturday, October 4th in the Battle of the Bands in Dillon, South Carolina. Our band earned a superior rating and placed third out of 7 bands in their division. Congratulations to our students and to the band staff. Job well done. Also, yeah, and it's okay to clap for that. We're very proud of our students. And if you haven't seen the band, come out because you're in for a treat. On October 11th, the band will compete in the Garden City Classic in Orangeburg, South Carolina, and their performance time will be 6:45 p.m. Our junior ROTC color guard will post the colors at the State Board of Education meeting 1 p.m. on this Wednesday, October 8th, at 1429 Senate Street in Columbia, South Carolina. This is truly an honor and for our students and for our JROTC program, and we're very proud of them and our JROTC faculty. Fire Prevention Week is this week, and we appreciate our local fire departments visiting our schools and working with our students. So if you see the fire engines at school this week, that's why they're there. National Bus Safety Week will be observed October 20th through the 24th. Emergency evacuation drills will take place during this week, and students at the elementary and primary levels will receive safety booklets. I would like to personally thank the Bennettsville Police Department for sharing with all of our students and parents their brochures on bullying and gang prevention. Marlboro County Council and the Bennettsville City Council have both confirmed a desire to establish a collaborative partnership among the local governmental entities and the Marlboro County School Board. Both councils are looking forward to an initial meeting with the school board to determine ways the collaborative partnership can work together to meet the needs of Marlboro County. At this point, the school board needs to provide them with several possible dates for the initial meeting. Our School Improvement Council training is scheduled for October 23rd, and this is our district-wide training. It will be held at Marlboro County High School in the Media Center, and that will be at 5:30 p.m., and all board members are welcome to attend. Again, that's our School Improvement Council training meeting. The first of 5 strategic planning update meetings was held at Marlboro County High School on September 29th in the Media Center. It was very well attended, and the update work will continue, and I'm very happy to share that several of the goals that we established 2 years ago, we've hit those targets, and we've also added some new goals, and so I did want to share that. And tentative dates for the remaining 4 meetings are November 17th, January 26th, February 9th, and April 20th, and all of those sessions will be held at the high school and the Media Center, and we encourage our board members to attend when you can. Marlboro County School District students in grades 9 through 12 will have the opportunity to visit several colleges and universities in different areas of our state this year. On October 11th, our students will travel to Orangeburg, South Carolina to participate in South Carolina State University's annual Youth Day. On November 18th, our students will tour Winthrop University, and on November 6th, our seniors will visit Northeastern Technical College. In the spring, students will visit North Carolina A&T and Coker College, and there will probably be some others. I would like to encourage all parents and guardians whose children ride the bus to school to please log on to busbulletin.com to sign up to receive emails, texts, or phone notifications of late or delayed buses. That's important. And parents, feel free to visit our schools for assistance with that for signing up. We definitely want you to take advantage of that program. So anytime that our buses may be delayed, or a little late coming, we want you to know that ahead of time. So please, please, please do sign up for that. I'd like to congratulate Coach Boyd, the coaching staff, and our Mighty Bulldogs for a good game against Hartsville. We were not victorious, but they played hard, and we must continue to encourage our children. We're proud of them. And so I just wanted to share that. And also, our homecoming parade will be Friday, October 17th at 4:30 p.m. And the game versus Crestwood will commence at 7:30 p.m. Please come out and support our Bulldogs. And Ms. Parsons, that's the end of my report.
All right, thank you.
Madam Chair?
Yes?
I wanted to, before we go into executive session, because she said the county council and everybody are willing to meet, and we need to come up with some dates, and I would like for us to try to get some prospective dates tonight before we go, because this has been one of those items that keeps getting pushed back.
Got any suggestions?
That ain't gonna happen. They didn't happen.
Okay. So all of them are the same? Oh, I see, just take one and pass it.
Okay, I'm gonna go, yeah, okay, let's go ahead and propose it.
All right.
Let's go for our normal date. Is anybody available on the 20th? Monday, that's a Monday? October, on the 20th? That can be Monday. Another day can be...
That'd be all right with me. Is that all right with everybody else?
And I say because we need to do with a couple of different dates.
Let's, since we're so long into the meeting,
Okay.
Let's just let her collect some dates and go from there.
But please, everybody, respond to
We
this.
can sort it out better than we can here. All right, we need, for executive session, we
Madam
have...
Chair, just Ms. O, are we going to meet? Normally, the meeting will be November 2nd, and the election is, are we going to have the meeting on the first Monday in November? The board meeting?
The meeting's on the 10th.
It's on the
Okay, good.
All right, in executive session, we need an update on SFLNA and how many for hirings? Four elections, and that's it? All right, did you have anything? Oh, okay. Okay, all right. And petitions for high school diplomas. Would someone please make a motion to go into executive session for these things?
So moved, Madam Chairman.
Second.
All right. All in favor, please raise your right hand. All in favor? Got it?
Which way we had?
Ms. Harrington, would you show us where we should go?
So we're in open session. No decision was made, no action was taken. And Dr. Cobb has 4 recommendations for election. Is there a motion to elect these 4 people?
So moved, Madam Chairman.
Is there a second? All in favor, please raise your right hand. And the motion is carried. Thank you, Dr. Cobb. Who's second the motion, please? Me. Thank you.
All right. We have 8 petitioners for high school diploma, and I ask that the board approve those 8 petitioners.
Is there a motion?
Madam Chair, I make a motion that we approve those 8 petitions, yeah.
Second.
All right. All in favor, please raise your right hand. Okay. I presume it's unanimous. I can't see it. All right. And next, Mr. Duff.
That's me. Yeah. I move that the board approve the settlement agreement that has been discussed with us by our attorney, settling a claim against the district by the agricultural firm on the Blenheim project for additional compensation. And furthermore, that we authorize the board chair or vice chair to execute the agreement on behalf of the board.
All right. Is there a second?
Second.
We have a motion before the board that moves to approve the settlement agreement that has been discussed with us by our attorney, settling the claim against the district by the architectural firm on the Blenheim project. For additional compensation, oh, okay, I didn't know where that went, all right. We move that we authorize the board chair to execute the agreement on behalf of the board. All right, is there any discussion? All in favor, please raise your right hand.
Hello, yeah.
All right, let's see. Hold them up real high. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All opposed. And what are you doing? Oh, you voted for. Okay, all right. Okay, all right. And so the motion's carried, and we'll sign the documents before Mr. Duff leaves. All right, Mr. Coachman.
Madam Chair, I make a motion that we adjourn this meeting.
Second.
All right, all in favor?